Howdy, it is I, Junk, back again. It is 5 a.m. where I am. I'm in the in-law suite at my parents' place because I'm here for Thanksgiving, but I am working today and I haven't slept yet, so I might try to keep this part relatively short. But let's talk about the most important thing I want to talk about, which is, are players getting worse? Is it just me? Is this people leaving the game so they're consolidating the leagues even more than they should be? What's going on? Is it my imagination? I've talked to other people about it, and everyone I've talked to said, yeah, it does seem like people are just somehow playing even worse than they used to be. I've often said that we need to split up Champion League into more leagues, because if you think about it, we see people in Champion League with 10,000 cups, 12,000 cups. The first, like every other league, is in the first 5,000 cups, right? And then Champion League, you've got people like a 7,000 cup difference between 5 and 12. So it just seems to me Champion League should not be bigger than all the other leagues combined. It should be elite, right? To some degree. So we just need more leagues so that you don't have these like 12,000 cup players running into the 5,000 cup players. That's still not, that alone doesn't account for the differentials I've seen, like the things I've seen. And there's stuff in this game, these two games there, I've just been too salty to not say something about. Hey, I've often acknowledged that I've got toxic tendencies and I work on them and try to get around them, but there are times where you're just like seeing someone's play, and this isn't one of the games I uploaded, but earlier today I played a game where, I guess earlier yesterday because it's 5 a.m. Earlier yesterday I played a game where it was two ochos on the other side. I was in an ocho, and there was a Orochi, all the O's, and Orochi with Thunder as my teammate, who activates his ability and pushes us both off the beacon, and we lose the beacon. And like, bruh, I understand you can't hold the beacon. I'm not asking you to, but could you please stop me from holding it? Because that seems pretty important. We could have dropped in there. It was beacon rush, but then we didn't have the opportunity. So let me know in the comments, is this just me, or have you noticed that your teammates seem to be less good? Are we just experiencing bad quality AI? Are there that few players? In fact, is there anybody even watching this? Am I just talking to a bunch of AI and dogs and cats still? Which is fine, because dogs and cats are my favorite. So that's one thing. Second thing is, the weird RNG here, I still don't have the ultimate Fujin, but as you saw in the community post, I've got 4 Ultimate Avengers, and now finally, after it cost me about $280 to get the Seeker drone, not even to level it, that was another 50 or whatever, but I had those, actually it was 40, I'd bought 1,000 chips when it was 40. I know some people saw that deal for 5, but you've got to refrain from spending for a while to see it at 5. So I finally got the Seeker, which adds the quantum sensor, counter suppression, and counter blind to the Quad Ultimate Avenger Behemoth. We are going to see some of that today, thankfully. But yeah, I just want, all I want is one Punisher. Can I have one Punisher, please? So, some strange things are afoot also in the game. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I was number 2 on this leaderboard. There was somebody who had 27,000, and then it ends and I'm number 1. Don't know if somebody got banned for something or what, but then also, I was checking my billing for this game, and they billed me for $30 yesterday, and I didn't buy anything. And I'm just not 100% sure if it was stuff I bought earlier in the week that was pending, and I got a notice when it hit. But I opened a ticket about it because I'm not sure. And honestly, I'm just going to have to start keeping track in more detail of not just what, but when. There's one thing that, you keep track of what you're spending, but you don't necessarily keep track of when you're spending it. So I need to see what the differential is to make sure, because at this point, I'm just so confused. I don't understand how it happened, but I guess what I'm just trying to say, listen, everybody pay attention to your billing, because something weird was going on with that too. But yes, without further ado, let's get into 2 games. First one is Yamantau, and I didn't realize that until the very end, the other team was down a player the whole time. So it should have been a cakewalk for us, and instead it ended up being really, really close. And the second game is a little trip to the Dead City. I've been calling it the Dead City. You know, for years we just called it Dead City, and for some reason, I don't know, it's like the Ohio State, the Dead City. Makes sense to me now. It's not like Dead City population 3,000. It's the city that is dead. Which is, you know, ridiculous because it's a map. It's not either of those things anyway, but that's, I don't know. It feels natural to me, so I apologize if it upsets you that I've been saying that, but I don't know that I'm inclined to stop it exactly. Oh, I guess one more thing before we get into that. I will say that I've tried a different strategy with the event. Part of the reason I didn't have the Dagon, I still don't have a lot of the new weapons. I haven't been opening the data pads until there was an event that rewarded me for doing it to see if it changed my spending at all. Because I'm looking, you know, what is the most cost-efficient way to do this? And the answer is kind of not really. Because here's the thing. So many of the events now are you score by leveling something up, right? Whether it's a weapon or a pilot or a Titan. And I don't have anything old that would be useful to level up. So it turns out I end up spending the money no matter what I do. If I save the money by not opening the data pads earlier, I don't have anything new to level. So then I have to level old things, which is just burning resources, which you paid money for. So the options are buy the data pad so that you have something useful to level when the competition shows up on the leaderboard, or don't buy the data pad and level up useless stuff so that you can win the leaderboard that way, and then have to spend money to level up the stuff you got in the data pad. So this has in no way actually changed my spending. And I think that, I guess kudos to the evil monster who came up with this system, is what I'm trying to say. Because you have successfully frustrated the ability to be frugal. Which I guess is the goal. So, like, I mean, in all seriousness, kudos to you. And lucky I have a good job, I guess. So yeah, let's get into some games. And we're here on Yamantau. I don't have any long-range builds in my hangars. Most range I've got is 500 yards, and I'd like to save that behemoth for something hopefully more special than getting sniped. So I drop an Ocho, and usually when I can't get around my teammates, I just lazily shuffle towards the other side. I got a lot of things to say about my teammates in this game, as you'll see. And I'll try to keep them relatively civil. Saving the ability because I figure they're snipers, and in theory, if I'm paying attention, I can hit the ability before the sniper. The sniper's just got me there. So now I'm thinking, well, why use my ability now? If the sniper already got me, I'll save it. I see an Ocho, and I see a Lynx. I think I'll cook up this Ocho a little bit, and I won't use my ability until he uses his. Meanwhile, I'm getting focus fired. By the time I use my ability, I'm locked down, and there's not much I can do. So I thought maybe I can take out this Mars, maybe just the Mars, and I don't even manage to take out the Mars before I'm taken out. So now I'm salty, than I was before. Drop the second Ocho, and I still have no plan, so now I'm just going to take the other Ocho up the other side. But I do manage to use the ability sooner, so that when their fire hits me in the side here, I'm in my ability and it does less damage. And there is that Erebus I'd like to have a word with. Or a few shotgun shells, as the case may be. And now we enter a portion of the game where, don't be like me, I'm crazy. I decided I'm just going to stand on their home because I'm just upset now and just shoot at them for a while. And let's see, we have an angler. Angler gone. Put a little fire on that Ophion. Crisis. Bisis. A little bit more out of the Ophion there. Chipping away. Fenrir. Respectable build, but I do have to take you out. And this is, I'm thinking, I really hope I don't have too many teammates here. Drop a Skyros, and already a Titan? It seems a little early. The Miramit's ducking for some cover. And my supportive but suicidal teammates have dropped in robots that probably should not be doing this. Mostly because no robot should be doing this. This is a crazy thing to do. But it did, I think, work for what I wanted it to work for in the short term. And I managed to take a little bit of a chunk. Miramitz goes down, but I'm still feeling crazy and salty, so I say, yeah, why not? And let's drop the behemoth in. Those aren't machine guns, these are machine guns. Nice, a little bit more on the Ophion. Till he phases. And I'm just going to hold down the button, because Fender phases in eventually, and he's gone. That Ophion build is my least favorite thing in the game, because it's just so cheesy. I think I've got another victim for machine guns here, but he manages to get to cover, and my bullets don't bend. So, that was probably not the best use of a behemoth, but I figure, okay, we've gotten some bots down. Let's try to drop in our Titan and defend home a little bit. Managed to shoot through the bars there. Did you know you could shoot through the bars there? So I walk over here and I see, looking around, what's going on? What do I need to do? And I've got a teammate just staring at a beacon to be flipped. And instead of walking for the beacon, he just sort of lazily walks towards center a little bit. So I'm like, alright, I'll drop off the platform and I'll go get the beacon, but I stop on the way there to take out that guy. And then he decides, once I'm already at the ramp, he can be bothered to turn around and get the beacon. At this point now, we have another teammate coming up, so there's 3 of us. There's soon 4 of us to flip this one beacon, because I'm hoping he wasn't playing the game. I'm hoping a pizza came, he spilled his coffee, his mom called him. I don't know. I'm hoping that wasn't playing the game, because that's playing the game. That's not playing the game. That's standing there, breathing through your mouth, and waiting for someone else to play the game for you. And here he is. What are we doing? We're just standing. We're just standing. So I'm down here now, and I'm out of position where I should be. And of course, here comes a Skyros to punish me for this. And I know there's not a ton I can do here. I can slow him down, maybe catch up to him. And now I'm getting shot from the side, but I've got to focus on this Skyros, because the Skyros is going to be a problem if it reaches home. Meanwhile, you would think that this would be the perfect time for, say, a Minos to come run in and help. You know, like a Minos that was just there, just sort of standing around doing not much of anything. And no, I don't get a Minos to come help. I get a Lynx to come bother me some more. And we're losing the secondary too. So, here's the astonishing thing about that player that I've just been, like, trashing for like 60 seconds. He gets 10 kills and 7 beacons. When? When did he get these things? But whatever. So now we're really in trouble. It's 2 on our side, 3 on their side. And this is not a great matchup for me. I can't do much about the Skyros. The Lynx would be really trouble if I didn't have Quantum Radar. But between the 2 of them, they get me pushed out of the circle enough to cap it. And the Lynx is just, I can't manage to get the weapons to hit it. And yeah, I'm gone. So at this point, I just like rage drop one of my last 2 bots, both of which have melee weapons, which would be a terrible matchup for that Lynx, which also had melee weapons that would go through my shields, but the Lynx goes off to do something else, and I'm just left here with the Skyros thinking about, I have to sit here and watch time tick down, and we'll lose this game. There's nothing I can really do. But fortunately, turns out my team doesn't have the monopoly on misplaying. Ophion drops in. My weapons go through the Ophion to get it to last stand. While I'm doing that, Skyros comes out of the ball, I go through his shields, take him out, and the Ophion then follows suit, and the beacon flips. Oh, thanks, sweet mercy. So now it's 2 on 3, and hey, it's the Minos. He actually figured out how to stand on a beacon. I'm as shocked as anyone. I see there's a Typhon walking towards our secondary here, and I say, yeah, this sounds like a good matchup. He manages to see me right about then. But, no, I've got to chase him down. I can't leave him around here. And manage to get through the shields. He phases, which also slows him down, so I get closer. I use my ability to speed up, but I'm gravity amped, but it doesn't matter because he's close enough. Now, allegedly, it's 2 on 2, and how is the Minos losing a fight to a Lynx? How? Is it a magic Lynx? Does the Lynx have, like, a Titan in its pocket? Is it secretly just a leftover Halloween party rook dressed as a Lynx? A Lynx? How did you lose this fight? Whatever, not important, because I've got my own problems here. Okay, let's focus on the Typhon. Maybe I can get through it in time, but probably not. Yeah. Okay, so now it's 2 on 3. And I've got the Imugi, which also has melee weapons. Perfect. So, Typhon does manage to cap center, but having done that, it now decides it wants to dance with the melee here, and this was not the best of options. And we have, as soon as I cap, we'll have a beacon lead, but we actually are down on the beacon bar. But it's 2 on 1? No, I guess it will be 2 on 1. It's 1 on 1 right now. And I'm just thinking, I just have to keep capping. Just keep capping. Whatever he dropped, doesn't matter, keep capping. And as I see he's coming up, I see I've got another teammate as I'm capping. I don't know where my teammate is, as usual. Staring at something probably, but no. No, this time. Actually in a Scorpion, and actually trying to contest a beacon. I didn't know he did that, but that's cool. So I land over, take the secondary so that it won't matter, and don't even manage to cap it. Time runs out. Yes, I was very, very salty there, as you can tell. And now here's the part where I kind of wanted to flip my iPad, flip the table my iPad was on, and walk away. 3 assists, 12 kills, 5 beacons, 8.4 million. And they were down a player. How is it possible? How is it possible? And here's I mean, really, not only were they down a player, but just looking at the numbers, doing some quick back of the envelope math, their bottom, well, the 3 players who were active on the bottom of their roster had more caps, more kills, and did more damage, and the same number of assists as the 4 players on the bottom of our roster. So, down a player, their bottom 4 did more than our bottom 4, and the number 2 guy spent half the game watching it happen. This is why I'm saying I don't understand. Are people getting worse? What's going on with this game? And as salty as I am, I'm probably not nearly as salty as Dex, who put in a command performance there. Shout out to Dex for showing why Toolbreakers, seeing their name always gives me heartburn, because you know you're going to have to work for it. Okay, so that's one game. Let's get into the second one, and I really hope it was better than that. I actually don't remember, so I guess we'll discover together. All right, we are in the Dead City. The Unknown Ocho with the Flames, Dagon with Melee, Ardent Behemoth with the Ultimate Avengers, Ardent Imuji with Melee, and the Ocho with the shotguns. Let's get to it. Dagon dropping first. You know, I still have the paralysis drone on this when I had the Magnetar, and I have not switched it out, and I probably should. Because it's not... Paralysis with needles just doesn't seem as crucial, but, I mean, whatever. I thought I would drop this first because you can sometimes get squishy bots running out early, and the needles are good for that. But I got 2 Skyros and a shell that kept me from getting to the Mars in the back. Shell, I don't want to get too close because the shell's going to try to get inside my shield and use its burst to take out durability instead of shield. In theory, in practice, this one jumps into the air, looks down at me, and then falls over. Neat. Link from the Kepri, and now we've got the Kepri and Emoji and me coming towards center. See Seraph shooting at someone in the background, and the red emoji with lasers shows up. People still using those lasers. I get take fire from the right, and I see it's an Ophion. Ophion is bugged. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Anybody who says differently is lying to you because they don't want you to, like, actually fix their broken Ophion. There's 2 things about people who play a lot of Ophions. They think they're good, and they think that. So the number one is they think they're good. Number 2 is they only think that because they don't take damage from half the weapons in the game. So yeah, Ophion is bugged, and people who say otherwise are just exploiting it. You got homing bullet. Hawk falls over. Mars for the triple kill. Shell from my side falls over. Can I reach the Ophion? I'm gravity amped, so I can't. And this horrible bugged robot manages to fight through another set of robots. So, drop the barbecuing when all else fails, and I don't like being shot by Seraph, so... You can see I've switched to the Xeno, the Blueberry, the limited edition Ophion. And I've got the Shy drone on it, because the Shy had been on the Behemoth. The Behemoth now has a Seeker. So that'll be fun. Typhon here is going to get cooked for the double, and the Skyros for the triple. And there's that Ophion I've been chasing around for half the game. Oh, this is going to be so delicious. Tasty, tasty Ophion parts for the Rampage. So, time to find a new fight. Looking into mid. I guess that's an Erebus. Is that another shell on our side? Are there a lot of shells in this game? Is it just me? So Erebus has got to go. Godlike. And I see I'm getting shot at by a Seraph of some kind. Lifted by a Newton of some kind. Another Ophion on their side. And there is a hybrid build Luchador. With the Vajra on the side and the Sonic Bubbles on top. Let's chase the Seraph for now. You know, I couldn't get over that edge, but thankfully the Newton helped lift me up, so thank you, Red Team Newton. That was really good looking out. Now the Luchador wants to come in and finish the job. I do not feel as intimidated by Titans as I probably should in this particular robot. And I get a little overconfident, and I start cooking it, but I keep shooting through the reflector. Probably shouldn't have done that. Still, I'm thinking, I've got good regen. He's most of the way down anyway. Let's just finish him off, and so close and yet so far. I go down. Okay. That's okay. I have a Titan myself. Like, you know, I'm something of a Titan myself. I see another annoying little Seraph that's easy to take down. Luchador jumps and doesn't land. Not so fast. A couple questions for you. And I'm about to enjoy a lovely Luchador cookout when I get shot from the side, and it's another one of these bugged Ophions being played by someone who thinks they're good. You know, Pixonic, it's not even the newest robot anymore. You can fix it now. You've sold as many as you need to. So this bugged Ophion, you'll see, like, I'll shoot it point blank, nothing will happen, because these are some of the weapons that just barely do any damage to Ophion because it just doesn't hit it for some reason. That's not what I'm talking about. I'll actually hit that time he just got behind cover. Little Kepri. Somebody else gets him. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people shooting at that Ophion. Well, we were, and now there's a Newton. Two Newtons see each other from across a crowded room, but I see him first. I'm going to back up here as the rook comes into center and pushes us all back. And is that Ao Ming using Bulova and blinders? Alright, sure, maybe, whatever. Rook goes down, but the annoying Ophion is still thinking it's good. Oh, look, an Indra with the Ton and Fulgur build. And yeah, the bugged Ophion is here. Take my shot at the Indra, but it phases. Turn around. And yeah, I nick it with the same things that have taken out so many robots. Barely doesn't damage. That's okay. I just ditch because it's pointless. Oh, Avenger, Ultimate Avenger Behemoth. Sorry, let me correct that. The Ultimate Avenger Behemoth absolutely erases a Lynx. And I don't want to fold up the weapons yet. I don't see somebody going to come around, but you end up having to because you got to get somewhere in. Is this stealing a kill? You know, a little bit, but hey, somebody's got to get it. I see there's a robot behind here. The next most likely to be contested beacon is mid. And it's an angler. That's a worthy target. Now, I haven't had to reload yet. Triple kill, chew up the angler. And I'm not really aiming for anything. I'm just emptying the rest of it because it's a fixed reload weapon. I see something's coming over here. I'm hoping it's an Ophion, but of course, it's actually a Seraph because not that many electric Ophions. So I'm shooting, and I see I've got a teammate that drops in on that blue beacon and then moves out of the way for the Seraph. I'm thinking, oh man, must have been a flimsy robot. That's okay. I come over here. Let's just get rid of this little Seraph problem. I look, and it's a Fenrir. Bruh. You dropped in a Fenrir, and then you moved out of the way to give the beacon to a Seraph. This is what I'm talking about. It's stuff like this when I'm saying that, like, what is up with players lately? Are players getting worse? Is it my imagination? Listen, the only way I'm in a Fenrir and I'm giving up a beacon to a Seraph is if the Seraph happens to have a rook in its pocket. It's ridiculous. Anyway, enough. Game is over, fortunately, mercifully. Although it did deny me. I think I could have gotten that Ocho kill. What do you think? Let's check the scoreboard. Give me something to be happy about. 1 assist, 15 kills, 8 beacons, only 7 million damage, but I've had worse games. I felt pretty good about that. So, thank you if you made it to the end of this video. If you are a dog or cat at home alone and I'm your babysitter, you are good puppies and kitties, and I'm sure your parents will be back with a treat for you really soon. I will talk to you very soon again, later.